My brother is Donald Mustard, and he's the worldwide creative director at Epic Games, and I have the inside scoop on Fortnite Chapter 2. In case you've been living under a rock the last day, let me get you up to speed on what's going on. Fortnite Season 10 is over. Yesterday, the entire game, not just the Battle Royale map, but the entire game was sucked into a black hole. Battle Royale, creative mode, save the world, everything has been sucked into this black hole here. And we've been looking at this for the last 12, 14 hours, something like that. This event kind of shook the whole internet, guys. There were millions of people just staring at this black hole for hours on end. Streamers that were streaming this had their biggest audiences that they've had in a long time. But now we've got a lot of creators, a lot of people just wondering what's going on. When is Fortnite coming back? And I've got a little bit of insight for you that I think is gonna help. I think to understand what's going on here, you've got to understand my brothers a little bit. I have two older brothers, Donald and Jeremy Mustard, and they both work at Epic Games. This is the three of us, Donald on the right, Jeremy in the middle, and me on the left at Jeremy's wedding, actually, a few years ago. This is us a few years before that. I'm not sure how many, but that's Jeremy on the right, Donald in the middle, and Little Mustard Plays on the left. And then finally, there's me in the middle, holding my older sister's hand, and Jeremy in the back on the rhino, and then Donald in front looking like a stud. Now I should mention too, guys, that my family is all super tight. We're all really good friends. We grew up really close together, played tons of games together, just enjoyed each other's company, and we really understood each other, I think. And when I first saw this event and what was going on, I could see Donald's fingerprints all over this. I can totally see my brother Donald sitting in a meeting and saying, guys, picture this. We get rid of the entire game and see how long we can get people to stare at a circle in the middle of a screen. Now, is this because my brother is a troll? No, Donald's not a troll, guys. He is a master storyteller. He does like to play some jokes, though, from time to time. And when my brothers decide to do something, they go all out. Let me just tell you one story from my childhood that illustrates what I'm talking about. It was a hot summer day in Houston, Texas. We were all just a little bit bored, and we said to my mom, we're so bored, what should we do? My mom says, I don't know, figure something out. So Donald and Jeremy hatch up a little plan, and I'm involved in this, but I'm a very young Mustard Plays. I'm not older and into things. I was just kind of following along what they were doing. They hatch up this crazy idea in their head that's gonna take months of preparation. They want to pull a prank on my older sister Christy. So they go and find this shoebox, and they take a bunch of my sister's like fake jewels that she has and she rarely plays with, but they take a bunch of them. So there's like a huge pile of this stuff, and they put it in this shoebox, and then they wrap this shoebox in brown paper. And then Donald, who's an awesome artist, by the way, so is Jeremy, but Donald is like, that's his thing. He draws this really cool skull on the top of this box, and he makes it look like an ancient pirate treasure. Then they put like bird marks all around the box so that it looks older, and they kind of rub dirt all over it to make it look like it's been scuffed up a little bit. And then we go out into our backyard. In our backyard, we have a big rectangle trampoline, and we go underneath the trampoline and dig out a hole big enough to fit this box in. At the time, our house had wood shingles, and we went and grabbed some of these old kind of rotting wood shingles that were just off to the side, and we covered that hole with them and then put the dirt back over the top of that. So that's what we did that day that we were bored, and I kind of forgot it because I was just this little kid, but my brothers did not forget. Then came the more elaborate part of the plan. My brothers waited for the next few weeks to a month for the grass to grow back over that spot that we had dug out. And then they started planting seeds in people's heads. You see, we ate dinner together as a family every night. My parents would always encourage us to talk about our days, what we learned at school and what we did and all of that good stuff. So my brothers bring up in this dinner conversation that they had been doing some research and learning that pirates used to live in our area of Houston, Texas, and that there are legends of an amazing buried treasure that no one's been able to find. I'm sure my parents were just like, You stupid kids. But they never said anything. They just played along. My parents are really cool like that. They just like to see what their kids come up with. So then my brothers come up to all of the kids a little bit later and say, oh my gosh, guys, we found this little scroll over by the school. And they pull out this little scroll that has like a map on it. It has drawings of skulls and pirate ships and really cool things. And it's got burn holes in it and it looks really old. And then we go on this elaborate little treasure hunt. I was like, sweet, this is awesome. Let's go find this treasure. My older sister was a little bit more skeptical. She was like, okay, whatever, I'll go along with this. We follow the map and it kind of leads us to different places that have more pieces of the map and more clues to where we should go next. And eventually we end up back at our house. And around our house are all these clues like buried in the ground. My brothers had been doing some work without me on this and they had been planting these clues all over the place and burying them and just doing a lot of really fun things. And then eventually we got to underneath the trampoline. This is when I start to remember, oh yeah, we buried this thing down here a month ago and this is hilarious. And I'm like, my brother's like, shut up, Chad. By this time, my older sister is starting to kind of believe what's happening here. So we start to dig under the trampoline where the clues have led us, and we put a shovel on the ground, and it hits wood. We dig it up. We find these ancient wood planks that we peel off, and there's a skull staring right back at us. My older sister screams. She's totally into this now. We found the ancient buried treasure from the pirates that lived in Houston, Texas. We pull out the box. You can see the excitement on my sister's face. We slowly lift off the lid, and inside is, hey, those are my jewels, my sister says. I've been looking for those for months. My brothers die laughing. I'm laughing just because I feel like I'm part of this and I'm like, this is hilarious, and I was totally duped for a long time. And in the end, it was an amazing experience that my brothers kind of led all of us kids on. And it remains to be an awesome memory for me and for all of my siblings. So then what's my inside scoop on Fortnite Chapter 2? Inside scoop is, guys, that you're going for a ride. You're gonna have experiences playing Fortnite like you've never had before. How did they get millions and millions of people to stare at a circle on a screen? Master storytelling. They've planted clues, they've told a story over the last 2 years to lead up to this moment. What's gonna be inside the box? Is it a bunch of plastic jewels? Or will it be an amazing treasure that leads you on an even more amazing experience that you will remember for the rest of your life? Knowing my brothers, I would say it's probably the second option there. So buckle up, it's gonna be an amazing ride. I hope this was a fun video for you guys to listen to some of the history of the Mustard family. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Leave a comment below with what you think Chapter 2 is gonna be all about. If I don't have videos up the next few days, it's because I'm at this awesome conference called Vid Summit, where I'm learning all sorts of new stuff about how to grow audiences, how to improve my channel, stuff like that. If Chapter 2 is released tomorrow morning, I'll be able to get some content out, but there may be some days I miss in the next few days. Okay, that's it for today. I love you guys, and we'll see you later.